is our first Dynasty Rookie Deep Stash video of the offseason. As always, guys, if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 1,300 subscribers. If you were with us last year, you were one of our subscribers, one of our viewers, whatever it is, you know that we love to really dive deep into the rookie class. We look at these 5th round, 6th round, 7th round picks, even the undrafted guys. We try to find the next diamond in the rough, the next Puka Nacua, so to speak. Is there going to be a Puka Nacua this year? Highly, highly, highly unlikely. But there's going to be guys that, are sitting out there on your waiver wire if you've already done your rookie draft, or, you'll be able to pick up, after your rookie drafts. Jordan Whittington was that guy for us last year. Jordan Whittington was a guy that we were kind of on this channel where we were excited about, 6th round pick to the Rams. And you know what? Jordan Whittington became relevant at some point during the season. He had a couple weeks there. Even in redraft, we were his name was being floated around. And now he's on every single roster and he has at least some value. And we'll see about year 2. Today, we're talking about 7th round pick, running back, probably my favorite Dynasty rookie deep stash this offseason. I'm planting my flag in them. That sounded weird. Jacory Croskey-Merritt, running back out of Arizona, who got drafted by the Washington Commanders, round 7. Now, I've been kind of high on Croskey-Merritt. Even before the NFL draft, I kind of mentioned him. I think I made a shorts video saying my favorite rookie sleeper this offseason is Jacory Croskey-Merritt. Now, again, he goes round 7 to the Commanders. You see the numbers there, 5'11", 208. His 2024 stats, 106 yards and 1 touchdown. So why am I so high on this guy? We got to kind of go back a little bit and kind of talk about his story. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about Jacory Croskey-Merritt. Was in college for a very long time. He's an older prospect. He's already 24 years old. He started his college career at Alabama State in FCS school, so a little bit lower, or significantly lower competition than all the FBS schools. And he spent 4 years at Alabama State, from 2019 to 2022, and they didn't really use him too much. I think the most carries he had in a season was like 130 carries. In 2023, he transfers to New Mexico, and he has a really good year. He's playing against better competition in the Mountain West. Is it elite competition? No, but it's better than FCS generally. He rushes for almost 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, adds 7 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. So over 1,250 total yards and 18 touchdowns for the Lobos in 2023. And then he transfers to Arizona, plays in 1 game, puts up those type of numbers, 13 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown, 8.2 yards per rush attempt. And then he's deemed ineligible for the rest of the year. And so that's all we see of Jacory Croskey-Merritt in 2024, which is a shame because I think, there could have been more buzz around his name, in my opinion, if he had played the entire year for Arizona. Now, I thought it was highly, highly, highly unlikely that he was going to be drafted before day 3 because generally older prospects, especially running backs, already 24 years old, which is what he was when the draft happened, they're going to fall to day 3. Like teams just like younger guys because they think they can get more out of them, maximize their youth and their potential. That's why it was a little bit surprising that a guy like RJ Harvey, who's also, I believe, 24 years old, that he went in round 2, just because you generally don't see that. Ray Davis is someone who comes to mind. He was a guy I really liked last year, super productive, good running back, and you saw it in the NFL last year. But because he was a little bit older, he fell to day 3. So Jacory Croskey-Merritt, the next time we see him, since his 1 game for Arizona, the next time we see him is at the East-West Shrine Bowl game. Basically, kind of like an all-star game for college prospects. And he's the offensive MVP of the game. I think he rushed for over 90 yards, scored 2 touchdowns. And so I think there's a lot here for Croskey-Merritt to make an impact. And a lot of it kind of came together for him. Now, round 7, the likelihood of a round 7 running back hitting is very, very low. I mean, one of the only guys that comes to mind in the last 10 years or so is Isaiah Pacheco. But you look at some of his numbers here. We have the dominator rating there, which is basically what percentage of his team's offense did he account for. For running backs, it's their total offense, passing yards and rushing yards. And now this number is only from 2023 because I don't have his Alabama State numbers in terms of what he did compared to the rest of the team. So this is literally his 1 year, 34%. He was 34% of New Mexico's offense in 2023, and he broke out at the age of 20, too. You see the combine stuff. He didn't go to the combine, but it was pro day, his pro day stuff. And he ran a 4.45, which is really good. His broad jump, which is usually translates pretty well in terms of production. There's kind of three combine drills that really translate well in terms of future success for running backs. It's the 10-yard split, the broad jump, and the 3-cone. Now, a lot of players don't do the 3-cone, and we don't have the 10-yard split for Croskey-Merritt because he didn't go to the combine. I guess they don't record it at pro days or whatever. But his other stuff, his 40-yard time, 4.45, that's 83rd percentile. His vertical jump in the 99th percentile at 41.5. His 3-cone he did do, it was not very good, 7.28 seconds. That's 13%. And then the broad jump here at 124, 84 percentile. So he's an athlete. You see the elusive rating there, which is pretty high. Now, what is elusive rating? Elusive rating is basically your ability to force missed tackles without the help of blockers, right? One-on-one against someone, do you force them to miss the tackle or not? So he has an elusive rating of 134.8. Just to give you some reference here, I mean, Ashton Genty is off the chart at 215. Cam Scadaboo, I think, is second in this draft class. No, excuse me. Bashal Tutin is second in this draft class at 143.2. So 134.8 is actually probably top 5, 6 in this draft class of elusive rating. His breakaway percentage, so percentage of his yards that are coming on runs of 15 yards or more, I believe it is. 42% of his yards are coming on runs of 15 yards or more, which again is a pretty good number. Is it elite? No. Again, for reference, Ashton Genty, 52.6%. I think the highest is actually Caleb Johnson in this draft class at 56.1%. So it shows your explosiveness. Can you break tackles and can you bust off long runs? Like those are, it seems simple, but like those are the two things that translate kind of the most to the NFL, right? Can you break tackles? Can you force missed tackles? And can you take that run to the house, right? And to me, Croskey-Merritt can do both. So I'm really, really excited about Croskey-Merritt, not because of just what you see on the film. Now, when it comes to the film, he's a one-cut type of runner. He played a lot of zone. They ran a lot of zone run scheme at New Mexico in 2023. Now, Washington kind of their run game is insane. If you ever watch like a Washington Commanders game and the All-22 film, like they do a lot of crazy things, which makes sense because you have Jaden Daniels as your quarterback, but they run everything from power to trap to inside zone, outside zone, man. But he runs a lot of zone. He ran a lot of zone in college. Croskey-Merritt, at least he did in 2023 at New Mexico. And he to me, he fits that type of run scheme, that one cut, because like his cut ability, his lateral cut ability is insane, whether it's to find the hole and cut up in the hole in his own run, or if it's to make someone miss, a defensive back or a linebacker, in the hole or something. It's pretty insane. I don't know his 10-yard split, but when you watch his film, I wouldn't be shocked if it's like in the low 1.5. A good 10-yard split is really like average for running backs that have been successful in the NFL is about 1.55, right? 1.55 is about average. Is about the average 10-yard split for running backs that have been successful in the NFL over the last 10, 15 years. Anything below that is starting to get good. Anything close to like 1.5 flat is like elite. I wouldn't be surprised if his 10-yard split is something like a 1.52, 1.53, because man, he is kind of explosive when he hits that hole. If that hole is there, he's kind of gone, and again, just for reference, I think, Bashal Tutin, he had the best 10-yard split at 1.49. Some of the elite prospects like Travion Henderson, 1.52, Quinshon Judkins, 1.51. So I wouldn't be surprised if Croskey-Merritt is right there. And so overall, I like the film a lot. Is he going to do anything in the passing game? I don't know, because he just doesn't have much experience in college. I think over his 6 years in college from 2019 to 2024, if I'm doing math right. Well, he didn't really play last year, so it's more like 5 years in college. I think he only caught 40 passes or something like that in those 5 years, plus the game last year. So in the passing game, what's he going to do? I don't really know. but I think there's some meat on the bone for him. And you kind of, one of the other things I really like about it is, yeah, he's a 7th-round pick, but I'm not just going to rule him out because he's a 7th-round pick. If you're good and you have opportunity, you can hit, right? And again, we saw that with a guy like Isaiah Pacheco, who was there in the Chiefs' backfield when Isaiah Pacheco took over. It was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and who was kind of a bust. It was Jerick McKinnon, who had his role, but he was never going to be kind of the early downs type of guy, right? And that's why one of the reasons why Isaiah Pacheco, one, he was good, but two, the opportunity was there. And so I kind of look at Washington's backfield, and beyond Brian Robinson, I mean, you have Austin Eckler there, right? But Austin Eckler has his role. Like, if Brian Robinson gets hurt, Austin Eckler is not going to be this 300 touch type of guy. That's just not going to happen. He's in his role at this point in his career. He's 30 years old, and he's really good in his role, Austin Eckler. But he's like 170, 100. He's a 10 touch a game type of guy with 2 or 3 of those coming as catches, right? That's what Austin Eckler is. He's a 6 to 8 carries, 2 to 4 catch type of guy on average, right? If something happens to Brian Robinson, who's behind them? Again, assuming that Austin Eckler kind of just keeps that role, it's Jeremy McNichols, who's, I believe, like 29, 30 years old, and he's fine for what he is, but it's Jeremy McNichols. And then it's Croskey-Merritt. So all he has to do for me to really see a path to fantasy relevancy in year one, and when it comes to these deep stashes, it's so important to have opportunity year one. Because what are you going to do with Croskey-Merritt? What are you going to do with him if he does nothing next year? This in 2025, and then the next rookie class is coming in, and you're looking for the next, dynasty deep stash. You're going to cut him. You're most likely going to cut him if he does nothing. And so it doesn't really matter if he breaks out in year 3. We need him to break out in year 1 if we're really going to warrant, unless you play in super deep leagues. So I see the path for him if he beats out Jeremy McNichols as the RB3, and I really do think he can. And then I see the path to relevancy. It will probably take an injury from Brian Robinson. But is there an off chance that he's just good? He's going to have to be impressive and really good in training camp. But is he going to beat out Brian Robinson? Probably not. But there's always injury stuff, and there's always the chance that he does beat him out. So there's already we got the rookie mini camp stuff coming out and stuff, and you got to take it with a grain of salt what you hear with these rookie mini camps and stuff like that. But I think there's a lot of meat on the bone here with Croskey-Merritt. And so he's a guy I'm 100%. If I have a lot of 4th-round picks, I'm drafting. I'm making sure I kind of leave the draft with. If not, he's one of my priority stashes when it comes to dynasty leagues, assuming you play in kind of these deeper leagues. So that is all I have for you guys. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe as always, and join our Discord. Link is in the description. We put out this type of content all year long, so join our Discord. It is free to join. Appreciate you all, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.